Hello, how are you? And welcome to this last screencast for my ecosystems unit from the science department in Boston Public Schools. This last screencast will cover lessons 15 through 17 of the ecosystems unit from STC. So this particular screencast will cover lesson 15, examining a real world environmental problem, lesson 16, holding a mini conference looking at trade offs, and lesson 17, which is actually a post unit assessment. I'm Jose Rosa, science specialist at the Mason Pilot Elementary School in Roxbury. And without further ado, let's get started with lesson 15, examine a real environmental problem. In this lesson, students role play to examine the Chesapeake Bay from different points of view. In addition, students identify possible solutions to the pollution problems. Students are divided into 5 teams of 4 to 5 students, and each team will be assigned a different role. Ordinary citizen, sorry, I couldn't resist myself, a dairy farmer, a waterman or fisherman, a land developer, and a recreational boater. Now, if you're like me, you might be confused as to why they use the term waterman instead of fisherman, but I have no idea. Now, each group is responsible for reading a selection about their particular role and completing a record sheet. Now, depending on how much time you have, you might not get to this activity. I almost never do. The teacher guide suggests that you make this activity as part of your language arts curriculum. If you're a science specialist, you can try to get your homeroom teacher to add this activity to his or her language arts program. So now, after students read, discuss, and complete record sheet 15A, they hold a mini conference during lesson 16. Remember, collect the record sheets and review them prior to lesson 16. Now, feel free to get costumes for the students during the mini conference. As a final activity, students can discuss how their pollution experiments relate to the real world problems of the Chesapeake Bay. Now, lesson 17 is actually a post unit assessment. During this lesson, students are shown the picture of the riverbank environment once more. They then write responses in their notebooks to the questions that you ask. These questions are all outlined on page 134 of the teacher guide. Now, for ELL students, you might consider having them respond verbally. If you're short on time and cannot extend the time that you have the kids, you can skip lessons 15 and 16. While far from ideal, we usually run out of time and have to make tough decisions. However, you should try to at least do lesson 17 and give the post assessment. Now, feel free to accommodate your student population by tweaking it as needed. And lastly, do not forget to go back to the KWL chart created at the beginning of the unit and see what new understanding students have based on the ecosystems unit. Okay, that just about wraps up the ecosystems unit. During my last screencast, I asked you to make a connection between my greetings, which were spoken in different languages, and the superheroes I showed. Have you made the connection? Well, each language of each screencast is spoken. Each language of each screencast is spoken by that superhero. In fact, each superhero is from that country where the language is spoken. If you're curious, here are the languages of the superheroes. Zorro, Spanish from Mexico. Superhero Guardian, part of the Alpha Flight Marvel group. Language French from Canada. Nightcrawler is from Germany, speaks German, obviously. And Jubilee is one of the X-Men. She speaks Chinese from China, but she was actually born in California. And my last greeting for today was hello. So, which country do you think I chose for this one? Yep, United States. Captain America, language, and country. Seriously. So, I sincerely hope you enjoyed these screencasts, but more importantly, I hope that you got something out of them, something useful. Look for other screencasts by other BPS teachers, both science specialists and regular classroom teachers, and of course, by myself. Until next time, take care and have a great day or evening, depending what time of day you're watching this screencast. Bye.